Good morning, everyone. Thanks again for joining and taking time out of your schedule to be here in another Cyber Thursday session. My name is Gabriel, and I'm the Business Development Manager here at Technorizon UK. Today, we'll be talking about industrial security, and we'll be covering the leaders in the market, Bayshore Networks. This session will be covered and recorded, and you'll be able to check it out after on our website or on our LinkedIn pages. Also, at the end of the session, you'll be able to ask questions. So please make sure to ask them on the right side of the page. So let's begin. So a quick overview about Bayshore Networks. Bayshore Networks have offices in Raleigh, North Carolina, USA, and Madrid, Spain. Was founded in 2012 and have really big partners and investors joining them in this OT security revolution. As you can see here, there's ForgePoint Capital, BGV, Samsung, and Yokogawa. Another cool thing about Bayshore is their customers that they're already working with. They range from tier 1 US carrier, big 3 US automaker, global enterprises, and also top 5 defense contractor. So also the Bayshore is very recognized around the market. Names such as Gartner and also the IoT industry have considered Bayshore a leader in what they do. So let's go over a little bit about OT environment, which is a little bit new for some people, but we all are familiar with IT, which is information technology. But at the end of the day, OT and IT are similar, but speak different protocols. IT, which is the internet technology, speak protocols with computer, laptops, servers. So anything that is considered IT networks, they have certain protocols to speak with. However, OT environments do not speak the same protocols as a IT. Very common forms of protocols that OT speaks are something such as SCADA and ICS. Some forms of OT technologies or devices could be robotics arms, for example, in the factory, telematics, and also all of the product lines machinery that you have in an industry could have a OT environment on it. So moving from here, I would like to cover a little bit of what Bayshore Networks provide to the OT environment. So Bayshore has 4 main products, and I'll be covering each of them in the next slides more in detail. So moving from the first product, which is Trinity, and which is pretty cool because it's a free tool for OT admins to use it. And what it does, it helps you to detect what you have on your network, what port and protocols are being used, and then at the date you have a better understanding of the big picture of what you have on your OT network. It's very common for OT managers to have not have a clear full picture of what they have. So this tool comes very handy, and at the end of the day is free. So if you're interested in checking out and learning more about or even getting a bigger picture of your environment, please contact us and we'll be able to help you out and send you a free assessment. Another cool product of Bayshore is the Scatterwall, which solves the problem with the unidirectional data DoD. For instance, a nuclear plant, which is air-gapped, so there is no external access, usually they use this form of data DoD. So let's imply that a super secure data transfer in a nuclear plant, for example, that implies that the same time implies a lack of knowing if the data was transferred correctly. So this Scatterwall would be help you to confirm that the data was transferred and is corrected and it's not anything bad on the thing. So another thing that's really good to mention is the money that you can save with Scatterwall. Most of the times, like to install and deploy data DoD, it costs around millions and £500,000 at least. And another thing that you can goal with SCADA is that you'll be saving a lot of money, and you'll be able to do way more effectively too. So as I mentioned again, the Airgap Bridge, if it's an inner trusted domain, will blink blue, and if it's red, is an untrusted domain and will block it. So this is very simple form of blocking of Scatterwall. Cool. And another good table to compare a little bit of the features of Scatterwall compared to Data DoD. And one of the things that we can say is that Scatterwall has a much more improved data throughput. So that means that there's a much more faster and efficient data transfer with less replication. Also, with Scatterwall, errors happens less, and also is a guaranteed delivery, ability to confirm availability of receiving devices. So moving from here, we have SCADA Fuse. SCADA Fuse is the operation technology firewall. You put in line of the production, and you will learn about the protocols and instructions of the devices around. And when it's ready, we'll be able to start monitoring. And if there is anything odd or any other protocol that we haven't come across, we'll just block it. First we'll alarm it, send a notification, and if you have it in your settings to block it, you'll be able to block it, which is pretty cool and is a very good security mechanism. So another thing that I always get asked is about what is the difference between a normal firewall and the SCADA Fuse firewall. One of the main things that we like to mention is that the complexity of an IT firewall, for example. If you put an IT firewall on the OT environment, normal of the times it doesn't match really well the communication with the protocols. So you need to create, for example, subnets and protocols. So it's a very more complicated way to manage. Moving now from just a SCADA Fuse iFix, which is very similar to what we presented about the firewall, but mainly used for electric OT systems. For example, one of the very close partners of Bayshore, they work very closely, is General Electric, and they use SCADA Fuse iFix to secure their electric OT systems. Other product of Bayshore, which is very cool, is the OTACSS, which is a remote access for industrial equipment. So this product right here can be deployed either on the cloud or at your in-house infrastructure. It's basically a gateway to control who, when, and what access your devices, and also it works way more than a normal VPN, which also inspect and monitors what the remote users are doing. So you have a really good picture of what your remote users are doing with your devices, when and what. So pretty cool security system for OT environment, also for remote. So quick overview about the comparisons. As you can see here, one of the main things is the VPN capabilities, which is the native OT protocol support. A normal VPN does not have a support for protocol like this. So this is one of the main things of the communication that you have to focus on. Also, at the end of the day, it's always better to have a solution that's focused on the OT environment, not only others. So makes sense. So yeah, after covering a little bit of the products of Bayshore, I think it's just a quick overview, really brief about Bayshore Networks, but I think we can see the value of the solution and their products that we have. So I just want to take some time to let people ask, because we know that this is the second session of Bayshore. We did a covering last month, so today is more covering the products. So if you have further questions on that, please go ahead. I'll take some 10 to 15 seconds to give time for you to answer, to get the questions on the right side, and I'll be answering them. So let's just take some time to do that. Cool. I can see here that we've been getting some questions already. Let's just go for the first one right here. So from one of the attendees is asking, if we add one appliance, how easy is to install and how many PLCs can protect one single fuse? So one of the really cool things of Bayshore, and is actually one of the differentiations of Bayshore compared to other OT security solutions, is that they're very simple to use. Most of the products that we cover on this session, they usually take less than an hour to be installed and be ready to start monitoring and secure your OT system. So this is something that Bayshore is really proud for, being very simple and easy to deploy. And moving from the other question that you mentioned, was really good question, is the PLCs. So a PLC, normally the ratio of how many PLCs can one SCADA fuse is normally a 5-to-1. So that means that 5 PLCs for one SCADA fuse. So I hope that makes sense. But if you have further question, if you have even a project in your mind that you wanted to cover, we are more than happy to send an engineer or even ourselves help you to dimension this project and really give you the right numbers and what you will need to do to move forward with this project. Okay, so again, any questions? I'm going to highlight here on the bottom page of the last slide. There is our email, cyberinquiries@technorizongroup.com. If you would like to have more questions about this and project dimensions, please send it to any questions to us, and we'll be happy to answer as soon as possible. Another question that we got here is that is there a list of vendors, protocols, and versions supported by Bayshore Networks? Well, that's really good question. And let me just check here on my notes. I have some cool information that I can share with you guys. So as you can see here, this is all the protocols and security policies that Bayshore can handle. And as you can see here, the most common ones are the Modbus and S7, which is the big OT manufacturers, Schneider, for example, and Siemens. So, and also, as I mentioned, iFix, General Electric, and pretty much a lot of other protocols, the main ones. So Bayshore can cover a lot of protocols. And if you have any other questions regarding that, more in detail about each of them, please let me know again in the cyber inquiries. And we see we have two more questions. Okay, so if the appliance have a problem, gets no power, for example, will my factory be shut down or stopped? Well, that's a really good question again. Another cool feature of Bayshore is that they have something called fail-safe, which means that even if there's no power in the factory, you won't stop your production. Of course, you only understand that the security on top of it won't be working because there's no power, but you won't have your business continually affected because of that. And also, this question I really like too is it possible to try it at some point? Yes, of course. As mentioned, we have really cool tools that Bayshore is offering right now for free, or even to try it, for example. So if you're an OT manager, you can even get a Trinity solution from Bayshore, and you'll be able to get a better overview of your OT environment. And from there, we can maybe potentially discuss further actions on terms of solutions. See if we can, maybe you need a OT firewall in that. We can also discuss a free trial for you. So any in terms of that, pop us an email in cyberinquiries@Technorizon Group, and we'll be more than happy to assist you and point you in the right direction. And I think that's on my side. That's pretty much it. I hope that was a beneficial session covering OT environments. And next week we will be again, every week we handle new topics of cybersecurity. And next week we're gonna have the topic of protect what you share, whatever it is, with Proton Security. And it's next Thursday at the same time. So I really hope to see you there. And Take care and stay safe. Have a great day. Bye-bye.